Thank you guys for clicking on the video. I am Sully, and today, fellas, we're going to get into Twitter quests. We're going to talk about, I don't know what episode it is, but Bear wanted me to talk about jobs and like that aspect of figuring out what you're going to do the rest of your life. I think that's something crazy, and it's very intimidating. So I thought I'd give my story, give you guys some tips. And before I get into it, why don't you check out Bear's Twitter down below. If you submit a question for Twitter requests, I typically leave the link to your Twitter in the description, so sauce them a follow. And let's jump into jobs and figuring out what you're going to do the rest of your life. For me, sports was always, in the mix for me throughout my whole life, even gaming, but more so sports. It was a constant theme, whether it was baseball, basketball, hockey, those were the big ones that were in my life. Whether I liked them at a time or I didn't, they were always prevalent. I used to watch ESPN when they actually reported on sports. I used to wake up every day and watch them. So sports were always the thing that held me together. And I went to college, and I originally, believe it or not, I pursued communication and broadcasting because there was no movie making degree at the college I went to at the time. So broadcasting was the next best thing. And I think that the irony is that I didn't pursue movie making. I'm really happy I didn't, because I think I've been blessed every step along the way through my career in sports journalism. But nonetheless, I'm getting off topic. Anyways, I pursued broadcasting and I needed experience, and so I went to hockey. I loved hockey. I was like, why not try broadcasting for the hockey club? I could definitely do that. That seemed a lot of fun. So I started out doing that. I also needed to, write for a newspaper to get credit for, some requirement in college. And so I started writing for the sports section. And that led me to do stories on tennis, softball, baseball. I also did stories, video stories on, the new stadium we had. So all these different things. And it turned out that I really liked it. It wasn't sitting at a desk. I can't do that. It was going places, talking to people. It was very much interactive, and it wasn't stale, different story every day. I like that. And for me, it kept on going. I did play-by-play for hockey. It worked. I had a radio show. These things kept on building for media, and for me, it came together. I did play-by-play, and that was huge. I was able to get enough clips where I could form a demo and I could give it to people, and I have experience. And that I realized that waking up and covering sports is something that I can do the rest of my life. That for me, it's fun. I'm passionate about. And so I think that's how I sort of came, into it. I just pursued my hobbies. I pursued areas that I wasn't necessarily interested in. For example, writing for the newspaper at the school was very difficult for me, but at the same time, it was about sports. And so I was able to push through that intimidation factor. And I think that's my biggest advice: is what is something you love to do that you're willing to push through the non-interesting aspects of it. If you're a chef, all right, if you like cooking, I think the non-interesting aspects would be cleaning or all the names. To me, that's not interesting. I want to know how the foods come together, how they make this different taste, how they blend. That stuff is interesting to me. Or if you're a GFX, Bear likes GFX. I know a ton of you guys like GFX. What are some uninteresting aspects that you can push through to be a better GFX guy? Whether it's watching tutorials, sitting to a lecture, going to see a lecture on styles and how they're transforming in our generation, whatever, pick. I think you have a possible career in something when you can push through, when you don't mind sitting through the dull parts of that career. And you want to pursue the dull parts because that will lead to a better career in the field you want to be in. I think that's how I don't think it's very intimidating. I think it should be fun, man. What do you love to do, and what will you work hard enough at that other people want to pay you for that? That's what I grew up, being told, and I think that rang true to me, especially with ADD. I look back and I definitely see God, how He crafted my school and my career since then. Now I'm writing for a website that's associated with the Caps, doing very big things, and that can hopefully lead to a better future for me. But I think it shows that, I did play-by-play, I did news stories in college, and at the time I didn't know that would lead to this. And so every step, you know, it's been better, it's been bigger, and I'm very thankful to God for blessing me with that, but also thankful that I put in that hard work, you know, I stayed the course and don't give up. I think that's the biggest thing too in this, is that no matter what you do, don't give up at it. I think too many people just think success is going to be handed to them. That's not true. You got to work at it. And that's my advice to you guys is, you know, if there are 3 things you want to take away from this video, here they are. 1, pick a job, and these are 3 things to finding a career. Pick a career that you're willing to sit through the dull moments of, because you know that will make you a better person in your field. You know, what are the aspects that you don't mind? If you have to go listen to a lecture, you don't mind doing that because it's going to lead to you being a better whatever you want to be. All right. Number 2 is, fight. Whatever you do, fight. Don't give up at the first sign of failure, because every great person started out with failure. Michael Jordan is the best example. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team his freshman year, and he came back and he worked hard. Failure does not mean that you're not meant to do something. It just means that you have areas you need to improve at before you reach success. And third, and finally, my tip for finding a career or figuring out a career, I would say something you want to do and you have fun with. If you think that your career is supposed to be something that you hate and that you don't like doing, then suicide is coming up for you, my friend. I'm just kidding. But realistically, you probably will be depressed on a more serious note, and alcohol and heroin may be in your immediate future, and that is not healthy for the kids in Africa. But on a serious note, I do want to say that you have to want to do it. It's something that you can wake up saying, I want to go do this. And those are my keys. It's not that hard. I mean, I think it's just being brave enough to say, I want to do this, and sticking with that. So I hope this video helped you guys out. And if you enjoyed this video, please, for the kids in Africa, drop a like on the finger hand majigger down below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day. And something just fell. Peace. I'm out.